Why'd you point at me?
Oh, off to a good start. Because that's how you would, when you're actually doing, like, broadcasting stuff where you would do that, you would signal your countdown, and you wouldn't say 1, and then you would point at the performer, because they're the one who you are counting in. We're all performers, however.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, why are you you're a performer too?
You are our illustrious
Who are you
host.
two?
Hey, you typically do start the podcast most often.
I guess.
Yeah, the only time when that's not the case is when we're busy being shitsters. Which is this time, too. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast.
It's been a while.
Well, we won't say how long, because that's illegal, apparently.
You make it such a big deal.
I just don't know why we can't say the time.
Because time is a metaphysical concept that is not relevant to the basement.
Time is...
We're still in the basement, by the way. We haven't improved.
Yeah. Well, I cleaned up. It looks nicer.
Oh boy, now we have worse acoustics.
Oh, yeah. The whole
we don't
fucking
have...
rack back. Oh, I didn't think of it like that.
I didn't either. I'm just trying to take the piss out of Eric and his healthy habits of living.
You're right. Everything was better when there was a film of dust over it.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
fucking 20 million jackets behind you.
That was a sad day. I love my jackets, and I got rid of, like, at least 15 in like 2 hours.
Did they at least go to Goodwill?
No, I burned them.
Oh.
No, I took them to Goodwill.
This has been a roller coaster of emotions for the jackets I've never even seen. They've been on the rack, but they don't register as real.
They were just such good fits that I could only wear them when, like, the rest of the fucking items were assembled that I bought it all with.
So perfect outfits.
Yeah, so I just never had a good enough occasion.
I was gonna say something.
I'm going to presume by you saying you won't say it that it's not good for saying on the podcast.
I don't know.
He's contemplating. I guess say it. Fuck it.
Can we talk about Kanye?
Yes.
I mean,
what would you like to say about Kanye? Kanye is public domain.
Remember when you used to have the fucking Kanye drip? Like, you had, like, the fucking whack-ass hoodie.
Yeah, I had the long hoodie.
Yeah, the
long
fucking white
hoodie.
shirt, gray sweats, and you just stood on your fucking truck and took a picture.
Yeah.
That was a good picture.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, just know as the Kanye drips, that's what he called it.
I see. You see, I don't know enough about Kanye. Everyone knows things about Kanye. I don't know shit about Kanye, except for the things you know about Kanye. The racism.
Well, no, he watched 21 Jump Street, so it's
Exactly.
different now.
I see. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Have you not heard about that?
I don't hear anything about Kanye.
Okay,
until
well,
it comes
yeah,
down
you
the
did
grapevine.
just say, but you know, he was on his whole anti-Semitic rant, and then he watched 21 Jump Street, and that had Jonah Hill in it, and he was like, "Oh, Jews are great now." So, like, he watched 21 Jump Street, and that just changed everything.
This man needs to hire better writers.
Oh, he doesn't even have any at this point, I don't think.
His lawyers keep trying to contact him, and they haven't yet. Yeah, they haven't. They haven't been able to.
Oh, that's...
I heard
That's
too
wonderful.
his big school, or church. I can't remember which it is, but it's under fire for only serving sushi at lunch.
What?
Yeah.
Why is that to be...
Because it's... Like, why is it to be criticized?
Yeah.
Well, because it's only fish, and it's only raw fish. Like, if kids, for one, or whoever goes there, don't like fish, that's one thing. But it's another thing if there's, like, allergies, or if, I don't know, you hire someone who doesn't know how to prepare it.
Like, I did find it weird. I was like, okay, what's the problem? Who does... Why would they have... Why would you get flamed for that?
Which
But
one of
then-
these fucking idiots doesn't like
Yeah,
sushi?
have you ever wondered what if you were there? You don't like fish either?
I just heard school and church, and I was like, there's no way I'd ever be in this kind of situation.
Tyler, you're an animal. I didn't know Kanye had a school church thing. I know he was going on that whole, like, fucking...
Jesus?
Jesus, yeah. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to sound that dumb. But, yeah, I knew he was on that kind of thing, but I didn't know he had... Or there was a whole concept of, like, ooh, church.
Because I think... What year did all that go down?
It was like somewhere in the middle of COVID.
Was it in the middle of COVID?
It was either in the middle or like after.
Yeah. Like he would go to like powwows and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was having like ceremonies like at his house.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's an interesting creature.
Indeed.
Yeah. It is the most apt way to describe him.
We need to talk about something other than Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what kind of... There were some fun things that certain someones wanted to talk about.
Before we delve into the one topic, I want to mention another. Pandas.
Pandas?
Love them, hate them, pandas.
I don't like them, honestly. I'm not a fan.
I like them, but I've come to the realization they're only alive because we deem it so.
Yes, that is a commonly known thing.
Like, I've just seen so many videos. They're just so stupid.
They're fat, lazy assholes.
And it's kind of scary because I saw a thing on Instagram of a panda giving birth. And then you just shoot that bitch out. And it just goes head first into the cement. just fucking right onto the ground.
Oh, no.
Like, they'll be like...
That was a wonderful visual demonstration, Tyler. I bet the viewers at home wish they could see.
Yeah, Tyler spread his arms and legs, and he made an orgasm face and was like, ugh.
Yeah, pandas are strange little creatures.
But goddamn, are they durable?
Oh, they're bears, yeah.
I've seen them survive some fucking shit. One was at the top of the tree. Obviously, the branch fell, and he went right through a wooden bridge and just got up and walked away.
Bears, man. I don't even think they register pain. I don't think they have the brain capacity to do that.
And I genuinely think they have no brain cells at all.
They're kind of like fish.
Honestly, because it's honestly really bad and sad that, like, if they want pandas to mate, they kind of have to, like, force the situation. Otherwise, they're just like, I just want my bamboo, man.
Bamboo.
Why can't they just do it like what they do with horses? They get the fucking registered animal masturbators and they get the sleeve on them.
I don't think you can do that with a bear.
I guess that's a good point.
You know?
Because, like, listen, you're comparing a horse to a bear. A horse got a fucking monster of a...
Thanks for that auto-censorship, Tyler. You're very
monster
good at
of a
the podcast
fucking
now.
dong. And a bear probably got, like, 5 centimeters. So you can't just go in with a fucking cock sleeve.
Is that how big bears' dicks are?
I don't
have a
know.
comparative list.
I don't know, but I am kind of comparing it to a gorilla.
Interested. Gorillas are weird. Why do gorillas have such little dicks, but then you see like other monkeys out there that like they're larger than they should be on their body, like those red monkeys.
But like, have you seen them? They're like straws. Like they may be long.
Tyler, I mean this in the most loving, compassionate, friendly way as you are my friend I could possibly say it. I don't look at animal dicks! What is fucking wrong with you?
Do you not watch like Nat Geographic?
No. I don't look at the fucking dick episode.
Neither do I.
I guess we do surf through reels a little bit more time.
Alright, for viewer enrichment here, these people, they just send each other videos of people dying. And I don't know why. I don't know how.
Sometimes we talk about how stupid the people were.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a given, but...
Sometimes they frame it too, where like it's people fighting, and then it's just like, whoa, that was crazy. Here, I'm gonna show my friend Tyler. It's most of the time it's animal videos. but like not animal videos of animals attacking each other. It's like
No,
cute,
rarely.
like dogs and stuff. And then it's like we've been in a bit of a car crash lull for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucked up.
You see, I just see the video of the guy parrying the deer on his skateboard, and that's enough for me.
Oh, God. I know I've been sending you a lot of, like, tiger videos.
You've been sending quite a few.
They've been really, really, really cute. Like, it's just such a big, scary animal. But they're so adorable.
You know what I didn't know? I didn't know that tigers were bigger than lions, and I felt really
Yeah.
dumb for it.
Yeah, tigers are. You see like tigers, and you just kind of presume like big cats, all massive. So you see like a tiger against a person, you're like, yeah, that checks out. You see a lion against a person, you're like, yeah, that checks out. You don't compare them. Tigers are fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ever see that video of the Siberian tiger getting introduced to the I don't know what range of regular tiger there is, but the regular tiger. And
No, I haven't.
Siberian tiger, it walks in and they're all kind of like sizing it up. And Siberian tigers are huge.
Oh, yeah.
And like it's not even lunging at any of them. It's just walking through and they all just start lying down on their stomachs.
Oh, so what the fuck you gonna do?
The big guy from Siberia.
Oh. It's sad, but like really cool to see them in like enclosures because like obviously they can't live in the wild, so they gotta live somewhere. But they're still wild cats.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love seeing fat jaguars.
Jaguars?
I think they were jaguars.
Probably.
But they're just so fat, and they get on their back, and the lady's just going on the stomach.
Oh yeah, tank.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
I love it.
I've been
So-
looking up more stuff about jaguars recently. Apparently, they used to be like now the average one is between 50 pounds, or no, not 50 pounds. They range from 100 to 150 pounds, but they used to be able to be like 200 to 300 pounds regularly
Oh,
because they were hunting like giant sloths,
oh yeah.
and then humans came around and took all of their food, so they had to fuck off.
I don't know as much about jaguars. I do see some stuff about cheetahs every so often though.
Cheetahs are nice.
I love the fact they can't roar.
Yeah,
They
they
make
are.
little cute sounds.
They are the kittiest cats.
Yeah.
So nice.
Servals are good too. I know very little about servals, but those are the long. ones.
I know very little about them too. I just know they can twist, and I like that.
I like the little small fluffy one where it stands on its
the
tail.
palace cat.
Yeah, I like them.
Please tell me you saw the pillow I sent in the chat that one time.
I don't think so.
Oh my god, I will show you it, but to elucidate, it is this big circular pillow that looks like it is just a texture of a palace cat on it, and it's got little paws, and it's wonderful. But I don't know. It was amusing.
You know what I've been seeing a lot lately on my reels?
Car crash videos.
No,
People dying.
anteaters.
Yeah, anteaters too.
Because apparently there's like a, there's like a well-known anteater species that was almost on the brink of extinction, but they've been slowly bringing it back.
Like,
We are so back.
Eric has been sending me like a few anteater videos, and after the very first one, it was the guy picking it up and like carrying it.
Yeah.
And all I had to say about it was that that's friend shaped right there.
I really love how they fucking stand up, like to act all intimidating.
they're just lads, dude.
I think every animal is friend shaped.
Yeah. I'd love to hug a bear.
Have you seen the guy who I think it's like just a little animal sanctuary, but he has like black bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Just hanging out with the bears. Like, it's very dangerous to hang out with bears, and he's got two bears lying across him.
Fucking one nips at his neck. He's like, hey, stop that.
Hey, yo.
Oh.
Lots of wacky animals that are people just hang out with now.
What's your least favorite animal?
Least favorite animal? I mean, I feel there are some obvious answers. Things that live in the ocean and suck.
Hey, now be nice to those.
Yeah.
Be nice to what?
Be nice to those. I like those ones.
Are you going to run to the defense of a sea cucumber?
Yes.
Okay, defend the fucking sea cucumber.
They're
'Cause they're
funny.
What do you mean?
What is your biggest problem with the sea cucumber,
They're
Kyle?
fucking dumb little fleshlights that sit on the floor.
Why would you want to do that?
Listen.
Why would you
Listen.
equate it to that?
They're the ones that, like, if you fucking you pretend to beat off, the white stuff shoots out of them, right?
I don't know. I just said that because they've got a hole in them that fish hide in. I've never considered, honestly, if someone has used them like that or not.
Because I remember there was a Jackass bit like that with the sea cucumber.
You know, that checks out, I guess.
It was Steve-O and
Steve-O and the
Pontiac?
other jackass.
hey.
I mean it with love, friends, please.
Oh.
But I mean, I don't know. Sea life is easy to hate because there's a lot of dumb sea life. But
Eric's not happy.
well, he can be unhappy because this is my opinion, and it reflects everyone here.
I can't really think of an animal I hate.
It's not even like
So, like, some of them have their quirks. Like, so, I don't like some snakes.
you don't like snakes.
The boom slang.
I like some, but not all.
I like snakes. Snakes are good.
Frogs.
Like frogs.
Don't like
Frogs can be weird sometimes.
Just
I
don't
don't
like
like
frogs.
They can be quirky fellas. You know, just a common animal, not a fan of squirrels. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say they're the worst, but they're the most common one where I could just say, I'd rather not have you looking around.
I think they're okay, but like if one starts getting too close to me, I'll square up to it.
Yeah. Imagine my life when Tom was around.
Who the fuck's Tom?
Tom
Tom the squirrel.
Oh,
Where I just fucking I told you guys I had like a whole wired mesh in my window to
Yeah.
stop it from coming in.
oh,
And he ate through it.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom.
That little asshole.
Yeah,
He still comes by from time to time.
Squirrels can be alright. You'll see stuff about, like, passive squirrels or all that, but they can be assholes just because they felt like it.
It's in
And
their
I like
fucking nature.
Yeah.
I don't like orcas.
You know, we did know that.
Yeah.
We can all agree on that one. I don't
Yeah,
like orcas
fuck
either.
orcas.
Or dolphins.
Dolphins are like okay because they aren't as scary because like orcas are just so much more capable because they're so much larger.
Yeah.
Orcas are monsters. Dolphins are sex pests.
Yeah,
It's a little different.
they're the
but,
quagmire of the ocean.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, they bob pufferfish and go giggity.
that
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
So
that is a funny fact about dolphins.
Yeah, they get high off pufferfish venom.
Though I did see a wicked video today on Instagram of a big whale with like a dead fucking squid in his mouth and on top of his head. Like you see the body of
a whale fighting a squid.
Yeah, you can see the dead squid like body in his mouth and still one of his tentacles stuck to his head.
What kind of whale was it?
Just really big and brown. I don't know my whale species.
You
Well,
can't.
it wouldn't have been a blue whale.
To be fair, I don't know enough whale species either.
I know it had teeth,
Oh, it could have been a sperm whale then.
probably. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because sperm whales are usually the ones that actually fight with giant squids.
Yeah.
I always wanted to see a video of it.
It was like the aftermath. It was really cool because I was like, okay, what's so special about this? And I see something flaying out of its mouth. So I was like, what is this fucking whale guy disease or something? But no, I see the tentacle on top of his head still suction cupped.
Have you ever seen a longfin squid? Especially like the video from like a mining rig of a longfin squid.
I'm not sure.
They look fucking alien. They are because you know your typical squid body. It's a little eye part and then it goes upwards and it's
Yeah.
got the fins at the side. The longfin squid has massive fins that wave around, and what it does, it is known for its long fins as well as its long tentacles, because they've got the tentacles that go down. They go so fucking far, and what they do is they take like 4 of them, they jut out directly to the side, and then they go down. And they hang out at like fairly deep depths, so it's like you don't see them often, and if you do, it's very dark. So there's this one popular video from like a mining, like a deep sea mining thing, I think it was, where it had cameras showing things around, and it pans around, and just in the darkness you see this alien like squaring up, and it's just watching it. It is just watching the camera, and it's fucking weird. But yeah, they're pretty cool.
You want to know another sea life that's kind of like a little asshole?
What's little assholes?
Octopuses.
What's wrong with octopuses?
There is this very specific octopus that lives on reefs, and whenever a fish will go by, he'll fucking knock its shit out. And that's it. He won't eat it or anything, he'll just knock it out and just let it go.
Octopi are just so intelligent that they can just straight up decide to be assholes.
Exactly. That's what makes it cool, but like, goddamn, bro. It just proves if anything had the fucking capacity like that, they would be assholes.
Yeah, it's this one, Tyler.
Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Like, imagine that staring at you.
Oh, those? Those are straight fucking aliens, bro.
Yeah.
You can't tell me
Squids are
otherwise.
fucking aliens, dude. I'm telling you. They hit the ocean on the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs.
Though, to be fair, when they typically show an alien life form, they do look squid-like.
That's just one of the amusing things about how popular fiction has developed. Because you can tell there was absolutely someone who's like, if I were to think of something alien and weird, what would I do? And then they think of like, I saw a squid once. That was fucking weird. So they just make that, and then that just becomes it, and now it comes full circle where it's like we look at real squids and we're like, oh, those are aliens.
Yeah.
Full circle fiction, I tell you what.
That's the thing about the deep ocean. Like, everything there just looks fucking weird. Like,
Because you gotta think about the situation.
the situation. It's pitch black. There's so much pressure.
Pitch
Most of
black,
them
so
fucking-
much pressure, everything's blind.
They're the night shift workers of the sea.
It fucking I think it's like the viper fish down there.
Yeah.
It can see like very specific bits of light that other creatures give off but can't see, and it just fucking hunts through the night and naps you.
Goblin shark.
Goblin shark, yeah.
There are very few sharks that I don't have love for.
The
I
goblin's
don't
one of
like the
them.
goblin shark.
Oh.
Not a particularly big fan.
I wish I could remember what it's called. Have you ever seen? I think it's
Frilled
the
shark?
UFO jellyfish.
Frilled sharks are neat. UFO jellyfish?
It's this whack because jellyfish are really weird when you look at them.
Yeah.
But they tend to have a uniform look. There's this one that straight up looks like a UFO, and you can see like the inside where it's got lights and it glows.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's a fairly deep sea one.
That is a scary thing to think about. Because, like, I'm not too bothered by, like, the whole I can't see what's under me thing with the ocean. I would rather it be pitch black than I look down and I see a bunch of jellyfish, but it's well lit. I don't like that idea of swimming will hurt me.
Listen.
This fucking thing.
Yeah. I've seen too many of those, like,
Oh, that looks so cool.
SFM clips of, like, deep sea creatures that just scare the shit out of you. Like, when you look into the abyss of the ocean and suddenly the thing the size of a fucking small island's coming up at you with his fucking mouth open. Those scare me.
The other thing, too, that's, like, really whack is just the scale of how deep the ocean is in a lot of places. Like, 2 Eiffel Towers at one plateau, then it's the world's tallest building at the next.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like the ocean, it's one of those things where there are a lot of times you can explain something and people just don't really get it until they're like in the situation. Like you can explain some kind of like dangerous animal and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. And it's only when they actually like see it in action that they're like, oh shit. You can explain the ocean and people just kind of get it. It's like you can't breathe. Everyone knows what that's like. It's like, oh yeah, and the pressure will push your guts out through your nose. It's like, oh yeah. He's like, look at all the weird fucking sea life. Yeah, I saw it. I don't like it.
It makes me scared that there is something down there just waiting. Like, not like some fucking Godzilla type shit, but there's something down there.
I mean, deep sea gigantism is a thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
The thing is, though, it's more likely than not that if there is something big down there, it's not as big as it could be because, well, deep sea giganticism is a thing. The way that it's like working now is all of the food sources for whatever that would be are shrinking because all of their food sources are shrinking to stay alive. So there very well could be a theorized megalodon out there, but it's probably only the size of like a whale now.
Well, and the
That's
funny...
still fucking scary.
I mean, yeah, but
Here's the thing. A big old megalodon, a big whale-sized megalodon, it could bite you and kill you. A whale of the same size could do the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter which you encounter, they'll both fuck your shit.
Yeah, and a regular great white shark, same deal.
Listen, if I had a whale coming at me this way, and a shark the same size coming this way, I'm scared of that way more.
It depends on... It can depend on temperament.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I would rather if I was to be attacked by a creature, I would rather it be a megalodon than anything. That way I know that I will at least go out
Screaming?
Yeah, terrified. Just
Getting ripped apart?
I will see the one thing that nobody else will see.
Just to imagine that feeling, like your last moments just being like, I have witnessed something no one will ever see.
That makes me sad. Because, like, what if you wanted to share your experience, but, now you can't. So
you can share it with the shark.
just live with that in your last remaining seconds.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I think it's melancholy. It's okay. It is what it is.
Game's a game. Don't get eaten by a shark.
Yep. There's your pro strat.
One video that kind of really scared me. You know those sharks that have, like, the very wide mouths, like, they can't close it? And they just suck up water?
A basking shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those sharks were doing that right under a boat, and the boat was sinking down into the water because the fucking force of the shark just huffing and puffing that water.
They're big boys.
Yeah.
And, like, the people around are like, fucking shark, shark, shark! And the guy's just like, I don't fucking care. It's just harmless.
I mean, they are harmless. I mean, the worst it would really do is like,
sink your boat.
Flips your boat.
Or it swims past you and you don't move out of the way like an idiot and you get sandpapered.
Yeah. But I mean, it ain't gonna shoot you. It ain't gonna rip your leg off.
No.
That dang old shark ain't gonna shoot you, don't you worry no bit.
No,
I don't even think it can consume you.
If it even could, it would spit you out.
Yeah. Filter feeding, baby. Although that reminds me. You know what I like seeing?
What do you like seeing?
I like seeing videos of people petting moray eels.
Morays are good.
Moray eels are monstrous beings with glass shards for teeth, but they're also funny little sea doggies.
The way their teeth work too is they're like fish hooks themselves. Where if they bite you, you have to swim all the way back up to your boat to get it removed.
Yeah, moray eels are fucking savage, and they live in coral reefs, which, fun reminder for anyone listening, if you touch a coral reef, you're gonna shred yourself up.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
fucking sharp. Mm-hmm. But they just hang out there. But then you see pictures or not even pictures, there's videos of people who will go up to moray eels and they'll start just giving them scricky scratch. They're just okay with it. They're fine. Sometimes they even seem to like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing with, what are they called? Lemon sharks or something?
Yeah.
Where they can remember you and be, like, very territorial about you. Like, if you go visit the same one, 10 times, and you come back for the 11th, they'll swim towards you, asking for fucking pets.
Nurse sharks are good too. That's the one that the guy was sambaing with.
Yeah. I do love seeing those fucking Florida type videos. The guys like doing little dances like fucking crocodile sharks.
Crocodiles can be chill if they're thoroughly trained.
It just takes a little bit of training, man.
Have you guys seen Cuban alligators?
I'm not sure.
I don't
Maybe.
think so.
Those are the ones that gallop like dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, is that specific to the
Yep.
Cuban ones?
Yep.
I see.
I love those ones. Little cuties.
Just hanging out.
Anyway, I feel like we've talked about animals for too long, gentlemen.
Probably.
We need Tyler's topic. Tyler, open the box.
I don't want to open up Pandora's box.
Well, it's too late. Pandora's getting antsy. You gotta open her box.
Don't say that.
Pandora's getting horny.
Ugh, stinky.
She. Never mind. I'm not gonna go there. What's your topic, Tyler?
So to open up Pandora's box, we've said that it's been a while since our last one, right?
Yes.
In these times, a lot of things have developed. This great thing called AI has gone out of fucking control.
Oh yeah, it's going places.
We got presidents playing games with each other and being friends.
It started with like
The greatest fantasy.
it started with the AI. What was it? AI artists like.
Technically, it didn't start with that. That's when it kind of entered a lot of like the popular view.
Yeah.
But it was AI has been going on for a long time.
Well,
it was
yeah.
being developed with like chatbots and things like that. But it is now at that point.
In my mind, the timeline went with AI art, then the whole ChatGPT shit, and then it went from like the presidents playing Minecraft. Then now, the thing that really blew my mind is they can mimic people perfectly now. Like you got
It ain't
Drake.
perfect.
You still get the
You get the occasional weird sound, but you got like Drake singing a Juice WRLD song, and it genuinely sounds good.
It's one of those things where it does sound good. It is very impressive technology. You know, let it be said, very impressive stuff going around. However, when you do hear like the voices and stuff, the voice cadence is really good. The only problem with it that really gives it away is the kind of stilted delivery and spacing between words. That's your tell.
But like, at what point do we think we should just stop?
Well, I don't know, because the thing is, it's one of those things about technology is that it really just doesn't stop developing. People are always going to keep working on this kind of thing, even if they're not really funded. They're going to do it privately, and then someone's going to find a reason to be like, I'm going to scoop this up, and then they're going to scoop it up. The company I work at has been scooping up AI stuff. We've got guidelines for how to ethically use AI now.
That's another thing. Like schools, like high school and colleges, are now trying to enforce rules about it because for like a solid 6 months, people were using like ChatGPT and another program to write papers for them.
I love seeing the idiots who hand in that stuff where they just print it off, because I saw one. It was like an essay. It was an essay that they had handed in, and they were showing their mark on it. It was a fucking 0 and an F, and it just had a note that said, "Please write this in your own words and hand it back to me for a terrible grade." And the first paragraph that you can see is just sure, I will write for you this essay about topic, because he forgot to remove the first paragraph where it gives out that it's an AI.
And especially like people are saying, "Oh, you want to sneak away that essay? Use ChatGPT, filter it through this, then translate to this language and translate it back to English, and you'll be fine."
Make it unintelligible?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, you won't get any fucking writing credits for it, though.
I think that AI should stop now. I don't like it. It freaks me out.
I think the second moment I was like, okay, this should end, is when I saw Rick from Rick and Morty playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Against Andrew Tate.
Oh, I saw that and I hated it. He fucking summoned Pickle Rick and I think got killed by Blue Eyes White Dragon.
No, he had Matrix. He had Neo on his
Oh
team.
shit, I forgot it was Neo.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's AI
it's
stuff.
insane. Like they've got the never-ending episode of AI generated Seinfeld that got taken down because they started saying racist things. But like
AI found about the one guy's past.
Here's the thing that I feel needs to be said most. I don't think AI is going to usurp positions from people. I feel like by the time it actually does do that, if it ever does, the economy and the job market is going to be in such a situation where they didn't have jobs anyway. I'm going to be honest. Because the thing is, my main stance on it is that while it can be threatening and it's very like, what the fuck, and there are certain methods of behavior I really don't like. I'm not a fan of going to like a fucking traditional art contest or whatever and being like, I put in AI. I mean, they say, yeah, I'm using AI. I think there should be AI art contests, honestly. Keep it in its own league. But the thing is, right, I think it is very useful and very good as a assistance tool. Yeah. Like, to pull an example, as was the case in our last episodes as well, I'm still running a D&D campaign, and I sent these fellas to a funny planet that was a bioluminescent desert inhabited by elves. I mainly got my mental image of what that looks like by using AI imaging. So that's actually, I kind of had the idea. I'm like, I wonder, like take a desert. But what if I want to spruce up the desert? So I'm just thinking, I had access to an AI thing. So I'm like, what if I input some things? So I'm like, bioluminescent desert. Gave me some good images, and I'm like, yes, I can build on this. I can make something out of it. And I think that's where AI is at its best. And I think that's where it should stay. But, of course, it's going to get better. It's going to keep getting better, which is still good for that purpose. But then you get the people who are like, I'm going to write a book using AI because I couldn't be bothered. And
yeah, I've heard about a few controversies surrounding that.
And the thing is, it always comes out that when they try it, it doesn't work because there are certain elements to AI that never work. Did you hear about, I forget what his name was, but it was an AI rapper. Did you hear about that one?
Was he like half robotic? Like I know
he had
the
an
visual,
avatar that
I
was
think.
like half robot, yeah.
Yeah, and he had an AK and he shot his car with it.
I'm not sure about that, but I only saw still images. But it was a AI rapper licensed by this company or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we use an AI, and this AI entirely makes his own music and lyrics. And it's like, oh, that's really impressive. It's really cool. They're trying to, like, get him shows and stuff. They're trying to use this to, like, an actual musician. And people are kind of like, oh, that's strange. You could be hiring, like, a real musician. But, because the music industry is fucking savage. It's awful. But, all this stuff was going around. And then it comes out that they use an AI to generate the lyrics. The lyrics come out incomprehensible and garbage, and then they get a real person to reevaluate it.
A fucking ghostwriter for the AI?
Yes, that is exactly what the case was. And it turns out that the original lyrics were just so ungodly bad, but they were selling it, and selling it on like the novelty and the merit of this is an entirely AI rapper. And then they got, I think, sued and shut down for false advertising and everything else.
They should have thrown him in a freestyle. Make other AI rappers and have them freestyle each other.
Exactly.
And then they really did run into real trouble when the rapper was getting unruly and he was demanding digital cocaine and digital whores.
Oh yeah, they couldn't produce enough digital whores. They tried, but their legs were on their heads.
Mm-hmm. Too many fingers coming out of places they shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's why AI really won't work.
I don't want to get too fucking tinfoil hatty, but thinking about the uncanny valley, where like our brains have trained us to like spot things that don't look right but look okay enough to be passable.
Continue.
Sorry. It was bothering me.
Anyway, so our brain trained us to spot things that don't look right but look passable. So thinking about like, I'm not saying that our brain trained us to spot like AI people and stuff, but like what out there made us learn that.
I remember that tweet. Like, the existence of the uncanny valley implies that there's an evolutionary reason humans developed a way to spot things that look human but aren't.
And that's why we're friends with Eric. We
Yeah.
haven't came to the realization that he's actually just a skinwalker. He looks so passable.
One thing, this is probably also a theory that could be easily shot out of the fucking sky, but there were multiple different species of human living together at the same time.
Yeah.
You could say that could be where that came from, where it's
could
like,
be.
this guy kind of looks like me, but he looks different.
Well,
and that was just back in the day racism.
Hey.
You're not wrong though, but you could also probably just attribute it to, like, because any animal typically knows when one is not of its own species. That a dog knows when it's dealing with a fucking cat or a wolf or something like that. You could say that every animal has that kind of distinction, probably just because, like, well, we are very familiar with our own species form, so we recognize it, and then we recognize minutia about it that's wrong.
Why is this man so hunchbacked?
Yeah, exactly right. But you could say that it's just that humans are the only ones really with that intelligent capacity to really feel like a problem with the uncanny valley, that you couldn't just write off as like, oh, a dog being a dog,
You see a dog that looks like a cat.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling. You
I've
run
seen
over and hit it
videos
with a
like
stick.
that, man.
I don't think I want to think about those.
Like, it would just be like a video of what looks like a cat just sitting there, then suddenly it'll turn around to be a fucking dog.
My lava lamp hasn't started yet. It's not off to a good start.
It's changed a little bit.
He's at least become bulbular.
Bulbous.
I was going to say something.
Yeah, we were going to say something controversial.
No. You know what's always been a scary thought to me?
What?
If insects were any bigger.
You ever seen a Dobson fly?
No.
They're called toe biters.
I don't like that. That just reminds me, like, I've seen a meme lately of, I think it might be the thing you're talking about, but it looks like a giant bug just sitting on a tree, and people are making Cell references from Dragon Ball Z.
I remember seeing one thing where it was like if ants were the size of dogs, and they had a breakdown of like what time would look like if it started now, and it would be within a couple days the military would be called in. After that, the military would be overrun, and then they would start colonizing within cities and feeding off of humans more rapidly. And like it was all within the space of like a couple years that society would just collapse if ants were the size of dogs.
Because it's scary if they were any bigger with the shit they can perform. It's
Oh yeah, they have incredible fucking feats of strength.
like I think is it ants that can lift 8 times?
Yeah, ants can lift like many times their own body weight.
Now imagine if they're the size of us.
Like, just imagine if ant lions were the size of a dog. Do you know how ant lions work?
No.
Ant lions are kind of like dragonflies when they're mature. But when they lay a larva, it is twice their size. Or rather, it grows into twice their size in its larval stage. And it is this massive insect, and what it does is it digs down into loose sand, creating a pit that it sits at the bottom of, and if you walk into it throws sand at you until you fall in, and then it snaps you with its bear trap jaws.
I've seen those things in fucking Grounded.
Could you imagine just walking by like a fucking pit and then just
Any desert would be
Imagine.
scary.
Just like you're walking and suddenly like the sand is slipping out from under. You're like, oh, must be a loose dune of sand, and you keep going and you look down and two fucking swords just reach up and spit sand in your fucking eyes, and you can't see, and then it grabs your ankles.
I wouldn't go to any beach.
It's fucking freaky, dude.
It is fucking bonkers.
But yeah, like, insects are insane. They're already so much of a problem at their current size. Imagine if they were as big as any other animal. It would be nightmarish. We would be in an apocalypse.
I know I sent it to Tyler, but I don't know if I sent it to you. You remember that video of the praying mantis killing a fucking murder hornet?
Yeah.
A what?
A murder hornet.
Like those
Oh,
big
yeah.
fuck off bees that were
Yeah,
like,
it got
traveling
him.
towards
Like,
us.
it
Big
fucking
enough-
iced him, dude.
Big enough mantises can kill hummingbirds.
Yeah.
So.
That video is what sparked the idea for me, because if that thing was any bigger, that's taking out children.
Yeah, like, and just fucking imagine that shit. Just like they in an instant you look at them and you kind of think, oh, small bug, haha, and it's like, yeah, fucking get you in a second.
He scythes you.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, that doesn't mean much because he's so small. And well, he ain't small. But then, like, have you ever seen the parasite that grows inside of a bug's body?
Yeah.
The fucking worm one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It consumes all of their organs except the ones they need to survive. And then it grows to bigger than the bug itself until it just pushes its way out of the bug. And the bug survives the whole thing. And the thing is, that doesn't matter to bugs because bugs don't have feelings such that, like animals and mammals do. They essentially only register, like, the basest form of, like, oh, danger, problem.
Yeah.
They don't really register pain. But, like, imagine that stuff on a human scale.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen a bobbit worm?
I don't think so.
What's a bobbit worm, Kyle?
Oh, a bobbit worm. They are an aquatic funny creature. They are...
It always comes back to the fucking sea.
Here, they are monstrous aliens. They are... They dig into the ground while they're really small, and then they hang up and they, like, float around, and then a bug comes by and they snap them with their massive bear trap jaws. And the thing is, if you pull them out, they're multiple meters long.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that. I've seen that.
Oh, yes.
They're hellish. And I once saw a video of a guy who's like, oh, it looks like my fish tank was contaminated with a bobbit worm. It's like, how does that happen? Well, when they're first born, they're really small. So you might not notice it when you buy some stuff for an aquarium or something. And so you see the video, he's like, yeah, I had to seclude it into this tank here. And it is all around the tank because it's so long. And you then notice two parts of it are moving independently. And he's like, yeah, it actually got cut in half, so there's two of them now.
I hate bugs
There's
like that.
two bobbit worms now, and they are hellish. I'm like, oh my god.
It's like buying a fucking container for a rabbit and finding out there's a rattlesnake living in it.
Here's the picture of that video. Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, they're massive and hellish. And I've seen people, like, try to remove them, because they'll hang out of the hole. So what they do is they take, like, one of those, like, lasso sticks, where it's essentially a rope hoop on the end of a long stick, and you pull the stick and it tightens it. And so, like, it's bobbing around. They get it around, tighten it, and they pull it up, and then they just have to go in with their hands and just start grabbing it and pulling it out like a clown pulls out handkerchiefs.
It's like tapeworms.
Ugh, yeah.
But now imagine
Worms are awful, alright?
Now
We can all
imagine it's
agree.
inside of you.
We can all agree that worms are awful and I hate them.
I'm not sure how true this is, but like the longest recorded tapeworm was like 25 feet. And that was stuck inside someone.
That doesn't surprise me too much, thinking about, like, how long your intestines are.
Yeah.
Because, like, you get the big stringy one, and that's, like... I don't remember how many feet it is. I know they say in Machete, but... because that's where I learned
What a
it.
great reference. And to be fair, my reference is from a doctor show, so.
I think it's more reasonable than Machete.
Yeah, hellish things.
Where are we at?
50 minutes.
50.
Okay, then we have time to talk about this.
Oh.
Oh, please do enlighten us.
Can we talk about how we chose the best but worst time to grow up?
How so? 'Cause
I don't
can
know if
think
I'm
of a
ready
few
for
examples.
this. I don't know if I'm ready for that conversation.
When Eric sent me a thing earlier about like the stinks, it mind blasted me back to the past of like all the not commercials, all the kids shows we grew up with, all like the cartoons and stuff. I'm thinking like, man, this was a good time. These were really good shows. But then I look at the stuff they have now, I'm like, man, kids nowadays really missed out on all the good shit that can't be seen anymore.
Well, I feel like that may just be nostalgia of how good childhood felt for everyone, because I bet in the future all the kids were going to say, man, we had it so good. We had like 3 tablets in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's gotta be also just the disillusionment with growing up, you know? Like, things were great when was, but things are certain things get worse, especially as you just gain responsibilities and all that, so it's like, oh, I got more I gotta worry about in a day, so it's like, I long for the old days.
But listen, we had Teen Titans. They have Teen Titan Go.
Is it... I'm gonna make a very sad confession. I haven't watched Teen Titans.
You should watch it.
I haven't watched that.
You should find a way to watch it.
I
I would
think
highly recommend it.
Everyone knows when I go back and watch old cartoons, I only watch the old nostalgic ones from Cartoon Network.
Wasn't it on Cartoon Network?
I don't think that one was Cartoon Network now, but I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
The only time I've gone back and watched an old cartoon, which I probably mentioned before, was when I went back and watched Billy and Mandy.
Teletoon at night, man. Kids will never get to experience that.
What shows were on that one?
Robot Chicken.
Fucked up one.
Oh, is that where Robot Chicken was?
Yes.
Okay.
That's when they brought out like all the fucked up shows. Oh fuck. Well, what was it called? I gotta search it up now.
Robot Chicken was a very strange one, because I've mentioned before that I wasn't allowed, my parents didn't let me watch Robot Chicken for a while, but I did catch a little bit here and there. Then of course I watched more of it later. But it's one of those things where I look back on it and I'm like, it's this thing that has this kind of longevity and staying power, but if you actually watch like the opening of Robot Chicken, it just takes you back to that time period, and I just look at it so distant. It's weird. And another thing, we just accept it's called Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
And I know why.
It didn't have to make sense, because it's a show that didn't make sense.
It is a show that didn't make sense, but we just accept it, and it means something. We can just say, bro, remember Robot Chicken? And you're like, oh yeah, I remember the skit comedy show about stop motion.
Done by Seth Green.
Yeah, exactly.
Voice of Chris.
I one time, I was talking to another friend of ours that didn't know that show. They didn't really know anything about it. And I'd mentioned, yeah, it's Robot Chicken, and she's like, why is it called Robot Chicken? I don't understand. And I explained the plot of it. I explained the plot of why it's called Robot Chicken. And I'm sitting there like, this is so schizophrenic.
There's this scientist, and he takes a chicken, and he makes it a robot.
There's a scientist the mad scientist who finds a dead chicken on the road, and he uses it for mad science, making it into a cyborg robot chicken, and he torments it by making it watch really shitty TV skits, which is what the show is. The Robot Chicken
What?
Have you never seen the opening?
I have, but I never thought of it like that.
That's what it's about. It's dumb, stupid skit comedy because he's torturing the chicken. We are the chicken.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. No one thinks about that.
We
It's
are
a
the
dumb
chicken.
skit comedy. No one thinks about the robot chicken.
We're the chicken.
Yeah, that's what it's about. But no one gives a shit that that's what it's about because it's skit comedy.
Yeah, they just got a bunch of stupid skits like the people who made the robot and went to go fuck the laundry machine.
Yeah.
I remember. Because we talked about the episode where the werewolf is like, oh, I can't get killed by
yeah.
a silver bullet. We talked about that twice.
Yeah.
I zoned out for the second one. I was like, I feel like I've heard this before. And then I go with my other D&D group, and they're talking about like werewolves and stuff, and it's like, well, you can only kill a werewolf with a silver bullet. And it's like, well, yeah, but have you ever seen the Robot Chicken skit? And the one guy was like, no, I've never seen it. And then they go through it again. They explain it to him. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this the only thing people remember from the show?
It's weird. It is just one of those ones that people remember. Like I don't know if that was like a commonly replayed skit or what, but
one that I definitely remember is, you know, the gummy bear and the bear trap.
Yeah,
But
the Care Bear.
The one that I remember that I don't think a lot of other people remember is when they had the Snuggies commercial and they had the little like Snuggies bear with like the laundry soap, and like it's just talking up the soap to the dad of the house, and the dad's like, "Oh, you're really soft."
You're really soft. Yeah. I remember that one.
And I remember that one specifically because my mom, like, she walked in right when it was like, Snuggies, the huggably, rapeably soft. and she's like, turn it off!
Man, I just remember the one where, I think it spanned a couple episodes, but it was like when all the celebrities were lizards, and they were attacking the White House.
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that one?
No.
I don't remember
Like,
that one either, Tyler.
They would like rip off their head, like their human head, to reveal like a lizard head. And one of them was like, I think it was like Britney Spears. She's like, oh, watch me rip off my head. I'm a lizard. I can regrow it. She rips it off and just fucking dies.
I remember that part.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that one.
I remember two skits that one you might remember and one I bet you remember and the other you might not. The M. Night Shyamalan skit.
Yeah. I know that one.
It was like M. Night Shyamalan plot or whatever, and just random things would happen, and then he'd turn to the camera and go, "What a twist!"
Oh yeah, what a twist! I love that.
I quote
guy.
that all the time. But the other one I remember is the it was Transformers. It was the Autobots, and they're like seeing the Decepticons over the ridge, and it's like, we have cornered the Decepticons. Now we must strike. In a moment, and then Optimus Prime runs away, and he uses the bathroom. Then he comes back, and then it's like, well, we defeated those Decepticons. Good job. And then he goes into the bathroom, and someone's like, he really is pissing a lot. I wonder if that's an issue. And then he goes to the doctor, and turns out he's got prostate cancer, so he transforms into a coffin. And it turned out to be like an ad. It wasn't. It was, the joke was that Ratchet walks out and he's like you should get checked for prostate cancer early, and then Optimus Prime gets back up. He's like, I'm Optimus Prime and I'm here to tell you about prostate health. And then throughout the episode, you would see more characters doing that. So there's one, it was the Human Torch from Fantastic Four. He's on fire, and he's sitting on the doctor. He's like, it burns when I pee. And Optimus Prime just runs into frame, get checked!
Man, Robot Chicken was a trip.
That was probably so funny for adult dudes, but like when we were kids, we probably didn't get it.
I didn't get it at first when I saw that. It was just something.
When you said Transformers, I thought that you were like gonna go with the one where Jazz gets ripped in half, and he's like, "Oh, it's a shame that Jazz died," and he's like, "What? No, I'm still okay," and he transforms into half a car.
Yeah.
And he's like still trying to hang out with them, and he's like, "Well, like you're not as useful anymore."
That would have come out after the live action Transformers movies, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That was a while ago.
Live action Transformers movies, how old would we have been?
I think the first one came out in like 2010.
Then we would have been 11. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Another thing is, like...
You're so angry.
He's like me when I realize how fucking old I am.
It's just, I think about it.
Yeah, you guys are old and dying, dude.
Shut the fuck up!
I think about it, and I remember all of the, like, random landmark time events that mattered at one point. Like, I was sitting there like I was 11, I wasn't in high school, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that was before the world ended in 2012. When, like, wait a minute, that was before this event and that event. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
It's something. It'll happen to you, too. I used to be with it.
I miss Prime Stick Page. That shit had a lot of fun games.
Those
a lot
good
of cool
old days of
animations.
Flash.
And especially websites like Y8 or Y3 that also had the animations on them. I remember watching this really, 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 really cool crossover one between Sonic and Mario. And, like, they'd have, like, the enemies of Sonic come in, the enemies of Mario come in, they'd all fight and stuff. It was really cool. I miss those days.
You hear about the one with Sonic and Pikachu?
Like this one.
You know, I always preferred the animation versus animator.
That was a really good one. It was also, like, in the 8-bit style of Mario as well. It was really,
yeah.
really cool.
See, it's doing it.
I'll believe you.
Oh, for viewer edification, he just pointed at the lava lamp and I looked over. It's just in stasis right now, mid-explosion.
It looked like fucking intestines.
It just looks like someone made a spire of Play-Doh.
It was really scary earlier because there was less risen up. Like, it was connected to the top, and it was when we were talking about worms and shit, and I was like... and I look over at it, I'm like...
Bacteria. Oh, madness.
Do you guys think you could do the Blade Runner job?
What even is
retiring replicants?
Yeah. You think you could do that?
It all depends. Like, do I have to, like, is it like, oh, I'm given a target, I have to kill him no matter what? Or, like, can I, like, approach them and be like, hey, man, time to retire, come with me?
I mean, technically speaking...
I would cut out the middleman because I'm pulling the plug on something. I would just go and shoot it.
Yeah, the thing is...
I've never watched a Blade Runner movie.
The way it works is just, like, replicants are illegal. They're not supposed to exist and be free.
So I'm meant to, like, take them out.
Your entire job is to kill them. That's what retiring means, because they look human, so rather than just say, oh yeah, go and kill them, they call it retiring, because they were also work androids. I think they worked on the moon or Mars, I forget which. But,
I think Mars.
They would basically illegally immigrate back to Earth.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to be there, they're illegal. So the Blade Runners were the ones who went to kill them. You technically could go up to a replicant and be like, hey man, you're not supposed to be here. And it's feasible they could just say, okay, and then let you shoot them. But
it's more likely than not that they'd go straight for your eyes with their thumbs.
I didn't know it was a case like that.
Yeah, no, it is.
When you said retire, I just presumed maybe there could be a good way to go.
No.
Because
not just me walking.
The good way to
up,
go is one shot to the head or dying of old age.
Because I thought about... The reason that I thought about that was because I was in the thought process of, like... I was thinking back to when I was talking to you, Kyle, about how I was feeling weird about when there were these guys that they were bullying, like, these things that were made to be, like, female AI, and they were, like, bullying it and harassing it. And I was like,
I love those videos.
That's kind of, like... That's kind of mean. Maybe they shouldn't do that. And then I was like, hold on. I shouldn't feel bad for these things.
You shouldn't be white knighting girl AI.
I shouldn't feel bad for these things. If anything, I don't know if I should be encouraging it or not.
And
but
that's the best part. That is part of the point of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And, you know, one thing do you know anything about the Voight-Comp test?
No.
In Blade Runner, because replicants look entirely human, you can't tell they're a replicant unless you kill them, and even then it can be ambiguous. But the way they tell is they have what's called the Voight-Kampff test, where it is an empathy test, and you basically sit them down and you like scan their eye and you ask them questions to gauge their empathy. So it's the Blade Runner will sit down and ask you it will say things like you're standing in your childhood home, your mother has made you soup but you don't like the flavor, however your mother is very proud, and then you you judge their empathy. But then it just switches to like, you see a dead dog on the side of the roads, its intestines stretch for a mile as they carried with the tires of the truck that hit it, and then they just gauge their empathy based on that. And
that's fucked up.
And the big thing about it is that it's supposed to be fucked up what they do to replicants, because the whole point is, well, they're like humans. And one of the big questions of Blade Runner is Deckard Cain, the Blade Runner, the main character, is he a replicant? Because he doesn't know.
Yeah, because it wasn't that the whole point of the one with Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford was like, oh, I may be a replicant of you or something, and at the end I think I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not, but like he just lays on the stairs and dies.
Well, because at the end of the Blade Runner sequel, 2045 or whatever.
2044.
2044. At the end of that one, he partway through the movie, he is essentially convinced he is a replicant, and so he's operating like that and helping other replicants because he thought he was like the chosen replicant. And then at the end, they straight up say, like, you're not him.
These were implanted memories.
Yeah, none of this is true. That's why, like, the bit where he's walking around, he's, like, bloodied, and the hologram's like, you look lonely. That's because he straight up is having an existential crisis, and he's like, who am I if I am not what I was convinced I was?
Oh. Mm-hmm. Some fucking Total Recall shit.
It's fucked up. Blade Runner's a really cool thing. And the book is about a goat.
What do you mean?
The book is actually quite different from the movie, but one of the things in it was that Deckard Cain wanted to get a goat. And fun fact, in the Blade Runner universe, real animals are just about extinct, so the only way you can get an animal is a replicant animal. But he wanted to get a real goat animal. So he's like, I want to get a real goat. So he gets a real goat. It's really expensive. His wife hates it. He goes through all of the events in the movie, and he winds up, he goes through the end of the book. He, kills Replicant, feels kind of bad about himself. He goes back home, like, at least I'm home now, and he finds out that his wife threw the goat off of the balcony and it's dead.
I would have killed her right there and then. No hesitation. Throw myself off the balcony.
And he just sits there like, man, that was the one real thing I had.
Man, that's why you can't trust women.
Was his wife real?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
She was just a bitch.
It's a real bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, it's book is a bit different, but it's wacky.
I don't think I could ever. I know there's the whole internet craze of, oh, fucking big old sexy AI fucking robot wife. I don't think I could do it.
I don't think so?
No.
No.
Because, like, it would have to be real and convincing enough that I don't feel shame with blasting ropes into it.
Listen, man, if you're at the point where you have an AI wife, I think you're...
Okay, but what if it's like Karen from SpongeBob? What if it's like, so it is basically just a person, but they've got an entirely, like, unignorably robotic form?
That's different.
Okay.
I'm not a fucking
I don't view Karen as an AI or a robot. I view that as the person in a robot's body.
Okay, fair enough.
That's kind of the way that I view that. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to imagine exactly how I would react to, like, mechanical AI person, because I don't see AI... I can only really understand AI speculatively and as it is right now. Speculatively, it's just people. but we don't even know if that's ever going to really happen. Right now, I certainly don't view them as people. I can't really see it.
What if you had an AI wife, and like, you know, it looks like a person, but obviously it's like Ghost in a Shell level person, where like you can see the seams and where its arms and legs bend and everything, but it talks like an AI now.
Can I choose which AI voice?
No.
Oh.
It talks like a normal person, but it talks like
it has that like robotic tinge to it.
No. It has its speech pattern.
I wouldn't vibe with it.
Smash.
I don't know. I just prefer to. I mean, if it was like a fucking sex bot, I'd just rather just be like, don't give it a personality. I don't want it because it's weird.
With his thing, the first idea I had was the mom from Umbrella Academy. If you've ever seen that show.
Yeah.
If it was like her, yes.
Well, but the thing about her was that she was so convincing that they thought she was human.
Yeah, they didn't know she was a robot until Monkey Man said.
That is a little different because the implication on that one is that aside from, you know, you pull her apart and she's a robot, that's human. It's convincingly human.
Yeah. That's like on the Karen level, except it looks human too.
The way I see it, like, I can connect more with something if it's like person inside, even if robot outside. But if it is very much like clear cut robot inside, even if it's human outside, it really doesn't vibe with me. I'd rather, if it's robot inside,
doesn't break eye contact.
Listen, man,
I'd rather it just be robot entirely.
The game's the game, and I'm lonely.
I'm gonna be honest. If I bought an AI sex doll and it was like, you know, it was meant to be a sex doll, it's not going to have that much personality to it. Where it's like, hello, I did all this. Like, get on the bed, and it's like, okay, master.
I keep it in the closet.
If I got that thing and I put the batteries in it and it stood up on its own, I would fucking shoot it in the kneecaps. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't trust it.
I don't know. I wouldn't like that kind of thing. That's bad news. Bad news bears.
I would be the first Blade Runner where I would just go house to house killing people's sex bots.
I'd put the deck in Deckard Cain. Turn it into Decker Pain.
You get your fun new sex bot. You got all the custom options to make it look the way you want, and then it just stands up and it's like, hello, master, and it's like, what would you like me to do? And you're like, ha, and you're salivating at the mouth, and I throw a chair through your window and I climb it.
You're retired.
I'd be so sad, because you know how much money I just wasted because of that? There's probably like no insurance on that.
Would you let your company know that you have a sex bot?
Well, I feel like if a crazed man threw a chair through my window just to kill the sex bot, I'm making at least local news.
You're going to make some sort of claim.
You'd be an icon in Japan.
Yeah, Japan's really bad for that.
Like that guy who married his DS waifu is just like sitting there like punching the wall. He's like, I should have waited.
He has to go to divorce court with his fucking DS.
It's not me, it's you, and he has to skip through the dialogue to find the line that actually responds. He's like waiting in the divorce courtroom because he's like, I gotta skip to the bad ending where she cries, hold on.
And the guy's just sitting behind the tables like, why not just turn the DS off? And it's like, well, that's illegal.
You can't. That's how you kill her. My wife, you see, she is on life support. She's plugged in.
She's charging.
What if I didn't even make the distinction between sex bots? I started going for anything like that, and I just go to that house and I hammer his DS flat.
Like, so you're walking down the street. It's like a stormy night. It's like noir. You hear the sound of a saxophone on the night, and then you hear someone
And
say,
I realize
"Hey
it's-
Alexa," and you hear "Ba-dink, yes," and you just like snap to attention and jump through their window.
Attack all Alexas.
I don't
and
think I wouldn't
Googles.
I wouldn't get like that, but I would hear people talking to Alexa, and it would definitely be like fireworks for a PTSD soldier. I'd be like, where do I draw the line? When you said saxophone, you hear saxophone music, and it's just from the speaker on the DS.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you want an LA Noir 2 game?
Yes, but no.
I feel like I'd really like to see what they do, because I'm pretty sure LA Noir ends in, like, what, 1950?
It is sometime back then.
I wonder what they would do for the 60s and 70s, because that was a pretty chaotic time in America.
Here's the thing. I think, first of all, conceptually, I think it'd be great to have a new one, because I think the idea of detective game is interesting, and it's a good market that you can really expand on, especially with recent technology. The problem is, L.A. Noire was really one of those early proof of concept games that did not have the technological strides it needed to succeed. And it was also really caught in identity, because it was like, you know, we're Rockstar. We're the guys who made GTA. You gotta have a bit where you chase a guy down and shoot him or have a shootout. And so they didn't go all in with the shooting, and they didn't go all in with the mystery and the solving of stuff. If they made a second one, I'd love to see it really hone in on what it wants to be and really bring it all together. But if it, under the idea of like, oh, they make a new one and it's pretty much the same as the first one, just like, you know, more of it and a little improved, I don't really want to see it.
I feel like since it's been so long since the last one, they would put the time and effort to make it the way they wanted. Like how you saw like the differences between Red Dead 1 and 2.
Yeah, possibly. And the thing is, I feel like it's one of those things where you have to get onto the indie scene if you really want to see it, because you'll find a lot of good like mystery stuff there, because it's indie. They don't really give a shit about what publishers are doing.
Yeah.
So, you know, they can put out stuff like Return of the Obra Dinn is a good one like that. But if you go into like the AAA sector, you're absolutely going to see some level of like, we gotta make this game appealing. Air quotes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, but it's sad. Games nowadays aren't like they used to be.
How far are we before I start bashing Elden Ring?
We've got like 9 to 12 minutes left.
I'm not going to get into Elden Ring.
We'll save that for next time.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Don't.
Well, with that, I suppose that's all she wrote. Fuck, how do we end these?
We used to sing. I don't know if we want to sing. Do we want to sing?
I don't know.
You guys sang. I just sat there quietly.
I was always pretty bad at it.
Well, thanks for coming out, everyone.
Don't expect more. I'm joking.
We'll see.
We're going on another 2-year hiatus.
Yep. We'll see you next time they unlock the cages and the basement once again has